It's March 2nd, 2014, and this is Earth Prime Weekly. Welcome back to another episode of Earth Prime Weekly. I'm your host, Mike Halpin.
And I'm Dan Halpin.
All right, folks, we have a special episode for you today. So, as you all know, unless you were on another planet other than Earth Prime this week, Friday, the first photo of Grant Gustin in the Flash costume was released about middle of the day. And as always, the internet blew up over it. People are excited for this movie, and I gotta tell you, it looks good, man. He looks like the Flash. It's a satisfying look, that's for sure. Danny, what do you think of it?
It looked awesome. I like the instead of having like the lightning bolts kind of coming off of the helmet, they're kind of like on it, which is fine.
Yes, no, it's great. Well, they did that with Captain America because Captain America has wings. Captain America has wings on the side of his helmet, right? Mm-hmm. And in the movie, what did they do? They just painted him on as some decals because it makes more sense. Uh-huh. So, and to clarify, the photo that they showed or that they released is literally just the neck up of the Flash from the side. And it's still a badass photo. It looks great. It's a deep crimson look. But again, he doesn't have the lightning bolt / wings, whatever you want to call them, jutting off the side of his head. It's an actual lightning bolt decal on the side. Yeah. And I'm totally cool with it. I understand. I understand the limitations they have to abide by when they're making movies or shows like this, for that matter.
And even though it was just a headshot, like you can kind of get not a feel, but by the look of it, you can get a feel for kind of like what the material looks like, and it looks. Yes. It's obviously it's not spandex. It looks like a little tougher than that. It looks like it could,
It's like a little bit of leather, man. It almost looks like if you've ever seen the original Flash show, which I have not seen much of, but I've checked out photos because it piqued my curiosity. It kind of looks like it's that same material, almost a rubber / leather. Yeah. But I noticed, and I don't know how much of this they go with, but if you look at him, it's got some seams. In the new 52 Flash, my favorite part about him, especially with the drawings of him, in the seams on the costume, whenever he runs, they light up and they turn yellow. So he's kind of got these yellow streaks all over his body that is as if him himself is powering up like the Speed Force. It's like some Dragon Ball Z stuff where they have the aura around them,
exactly.
And that I geek out over that type of stuff. But it looks like on the side of his head, you can kind of see a seam going up, and you can't see much of it. It is a very dark picture. Again, it's a very deep crimson red. I'm just sitting here crossing my fingers and saying, please make it the new 52 Flash because I dig it, man. It's my thing. I'm a big fan of the new 52, as you know. Mm-hmm. I'm always up for change. It's good with me. Keep them relevant. Keep them going because, as you know, we would never have the Flash we have today if DC didn't decide to boot the Silver Age with Flash. Yeah. Because before that, it was Jay Garrick, the Flash with the fruit bowl on his head, wearing jeans and a sweater. And once the Silver Age rolled around, I want to say mid-50s, they released a new Flash, and it was a sleeker Flash. And you hadn't seen superheroes like this before. They were full-body suit. They almost looked a little more X-Men, a little more like Spider-Man in a way. And mind you, this is pre-Spider-Man. This is way before Spider-Man. It was a very sleek look. It was a modern look. It was a new age, and he was kind of the Flash was a catalyst for the rest of these characters.
Yes, he
was.
Like
the Green Lantern, because before that you had the purple and red Green Lantern, Alan Scott, and now look at him. Now he looks like a sci-fi hero. What do you think of that, man? I mean,
you're right. Flash definitely was the catalyst for the Silver Age. It was, I won't say a new superpower, but yeah, man, everything about him really brought it all together. The sleek suit and you could see that start happening throughout the comics. That's, it's not just like, okay, we're going to start the Silver Age. No, the Flash comics happened. People dug the suit. They dug how he looked. They dug the ideas around it. And then it spreads, People see it and they go, I kind of like that. And then the Green Lantern has that suit, and it spreads throughout the industry.
It was infectious, man.
Exactly. And that's how you create the new age.
It captured minds. People were reading The Flash like you wouldn't believe. I mean, Batman and Superman screwed off, and it was all about The Flash, man. Everyone loved The Flash. No one had seen anything like it before. And I gotta tell you, man, for the longest time, not that I overlooked The Flash, but I was never too impressed. My big three were always Batman, Superman, Green Lantern. And with ease lately, Flash has just moved straight up into that spot, especially, I think after I watched the Flashpoint Paradox movie, it really made me get a different type of appreciation for the character.
Yeah.
I really, and you've seen Flashpoint Paradox. You've read Flashpoint Paradox for that matter. That was at about the time when I went away to college, and not that I didn't want to read comics anymore, but you're in college, unfortunately. I didn't have the money to keep dropping the $20-$30 at the comic book shop a week. I needed that for beer and food.
Yeah. And it's not even like you can go buy an occasional comic, because you know how it is, man. Every Wednesday, you just want to buy something new.
And then they've got the tie-ins.
Yeah, and then all the tie-ins on top of it. No, man.
You get trapped.
I love The Flash. Justice League, when they did the Justice League series on Cartoon Network, it wasn't Barry Allen they used Wally West.
Yes,
but,
the redheaded guy.
Still,
Flash.
yeah. But,
I love Wally West, but he's the comic relief in that show. He cracks me up like you wouldn't believe.
Barry Allen usually has a lot of comic relief going on, but he's definitely a lot more serious than Wally West was.
Yeah, he definitely is. I think he takes up the role of that because he is the first. Yeah. You know, not necessarily the first. Jay Garrick is the first Flash, the original Flash.
Well, yeah.
Well, we'll get into that. And I've also got some. I've also got some ideas of what I think what they might go about doing with that. But let's really quick, because we've got to get going with this. I want to recap. We're going to start off, and we're going to recap the Arrow series, where Barry Allen, Grant Gustin, shows up for the first time in Arrow, and which I got to say, out of all the episodes I've seen of Arrow, definitely my favorite. I love the score for it. The first time you see Barry Allen, he's getting off of a train, and it's raining out, and there's kind of like this little piano playing. It's almost like a theme song for the guy, but he's holding a newspaper over his head to block the rain, and on the newspaper it says Star Labs is going to be turning on a particle accelerator, and it's a big thing. And as you know, Barry Allen is a scientist. He's a CSI investigator. He's a nerd, man. Comics back then, they were written by nerds, man. They wanted these heroes to be nerds. It makes sense. Peter Parker, all of them. Yeah. So, even Superman takes up the guise of a nerd when he's not being Superman.
Yeah, it's true.
So, but anyway, so it says that on the newspaper, and instantly you just get a little bit of a fanboy glee inside you. Like, oh my God, they're really getting this deep into it.
Well, I was excited when he comes into the show because if you've been watching it, there really haven't been superpowers.
No,
nobody has had
very down to earth, very Batman.
Yeah, and the one person who would be Black Canary in the show, or they just call her Canary. They don't like the colors in the show.
Apparently they have a bias. It's not Green Arrow, it's Arrow, and it's not Black Canary, it's Canary.
But if you know her power, she creates sonic sound waves with her voice.
She screams. Shatter your damn eardrums.
Exactly.
Hence Canary.
And in the show, instead of actually screaming, she has this little device, which is fine, and we get over it.
The show is so good, it's forgivable. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It was just like the Batman movies were so good. The Joker was so good in The Dark Knight that it was forgivable that he didn't get dropped into a vat of acid.
Those two Batman movies, I agree.
The two Batman movies, but we can't get into Batman because we're all about the Flash today.
Yes, we are. But
so we'll continue with the story. Go ahead. I want you tell a little bit of the story. What exactly is why is Barry Allen in town in Starling City?
Well, he's if you know the backstory for Barry Allen, like most DC heroes, they're kind of born in blood. Batman, born in blood. Superman, born in blood. And you say, well, Superman wasn't born in blood. A whole planet
probably
died.
The most blood out of any DC origin, if you want to really get down to it.
And at the time, the comics always reflect what's going on in the world. And if you know the backstory for Barry Allen is that his mom is murdered by a home invader. It was kind of like the big thing back then. We're home invaders. That was what people were scared of and yada yada. But so that's how she's killed, and that's how Barry Allen kind of becomes the Flash. Well, his dad is framed for the murder.
Not necessarily that he's framed, because that would imply someone put it on him. More that there's no other explanation as to who could have killed him.
Exactly.
And what does he say? Now, Barry Allen, again, he's investigating a very similar crime in Starling City, and he goes over there against the orders of his captain and his superiors.
Yes.
Because he is a CSI investigator at this time. Mm-hmm. He says he's a little higher up than he is, but he isn't. Okay, yeah, he's a young guy, and you know he's BSing you at first, because there's no way in hell this man has that much power in the PD at Central City.
Yeah.
So, but he's there investigating a very a supernatural robbery, we'll say, because it's intriguing. Okay, because he tells the backstory of how his mother was murdered.
Amazing.
And what he says is that he gets home and his mother had been killed, and he just saw a blur, he says. Yeah. And next thing he knows, he wakes up and he's 4 miles away from the house.
He says, because he tells Ollie, the Green Arrow, and everybody, what kind of happened. And when he explains it, and he says, I get home, and he sees his mom, and she's dead, and then he blinks.
Yes.
He blinks, and then he's 4 miles away from the murder. And it's... So already...
Who does that imply?
It has there has to be another speedster.
The reverse Flash, for that matter.
Yeah, we'll just call him the reverse
Flash for now, because we don't know exactly who he's going to be or which version they're going to take, New 52, or if they're going to make kind of a mix of it. Because I got to tell you, the New 52 Flash, I love him. I think he looks badass. I think he looks menacing. I think I like Eobard Thawne just because of the type of threat that he poses. He's a little more maniacal, but we'll get into that a little deeper later. Yeah. But so right off the bat, they imply that the person who kills his mother is probably
a speedster,
the Reverse Flash, a speedster for that matter. Yes.
Yeah, for that.
And again, like you say, it's probably Reverse Flash. Who else could it be? Mm-hmm. So they get into that. And the cops say that he's like, I was here, I saw it. It wasn't my father. It was something else. And they don't believe him because he wasn't in the house.
He was 4 miles away.
How the hell could he have seen everything? And again, his father is in jail, so his whole life is dedicated to trying to clear his father's name and solve this mystery, which has gone on. His father's been in jail for maybe 20 years or something. He was very young when this happens.
Yeah.
So he talks about that in the story now. In Arrow, he obviously kind of bumps heads a little bit with Ollie. He is definitely a fan of the Green Arrow.
Yeah, he's a fanboy.
And okay, and to stress it, in case you haven't seen it, he's not the Flash yet. He's not the Flash. So he's in between this entire story arc. He gives Ollie the green mask.
Yeah.
He says you're using paint on your eyes. He's like, that's not good, man. It's gonna get in your eyes. It can impair your vision. He's like, well, I need to be able to see, which I have problems because the dude wears a hood. If he wants to be able to see while he's shooting an arrow, don't wear a damn hood.
Yeah,
your periffs are cut off. But whatever, we'll let it go. It's a superhero TV show.
I wasn't a fan of the mask. I like the mask because
I love the mask.
I like the mask kind of like Green Lantern's mask, that it's a domino mask, but it still kind of covers the nose. Yeah. It takes away that humanity from the face. That's what the mask is for.
But that's where the hood comes in. The hood can kind of block the rest. Well, and as you know, the Green Arrow, Ollie, he's always in the shadows. And he uses the voice mixer, so you never know exactly who's talking, which is fine. Great. I love it. So he gives him the mask. But the end, so we're going to jump right to it. The end of the episode, after this entire storyline is over, Barry Allen makes it back because he wants to get back in time for them to turn on the particle accelerator at Star Labs.
He's a nerd. He's science nerd.
He loves it, man. He's buff. This is the damn Super Bowl for the guy.
Yeah,
he misses it. He doesn't make. He gets back in time. Doesn't make the cutoff. Now this is where, man, like fanboy chills.
Oh yeah,
he gets into. He gets back to his laboratory, which is in a high rise, right? And you see he's got chemicals on the wall and everything. He's got newspaper clippings, especially ones of his the murder of his mother and everything. It's storming out now. He's got a TV on, and in the background they say they're about to turn on the accelerator, and all of a sudden you see the reporter go, there's problems. Now, mind you, there's a large storm going on. She says, something's happening. There's been a malfunction. TV cuts out.
Yeah.
He goes and he looks outside, and you can see Star Labs in the distance. Boom, giant explosion goes up. Next thing you know, you see an entire shockwave go, knocks out power in the entire city.
Yeah.
And then this is now again. It's raining and thundering out. Now this is where the chills even creep in more.
Yeah,
me and this guy are watching this, and he looks at me and he goes, "They're about to do it, aren't they? We're about to see him become the Flash."
Yeah.
So power's out in the city. This slow piano music is playing, just adding to the effect.
Yeah. Oh, and
he goes to, I guess, close some shutters in the ceiling. He's got like a skylight. And as he goes and he grabs the metal chains. Now, it's flooding in there a little bit. There's some water leaking in, and he's standing in it. When he goes to grab the chains, you can hear static electricity run through his body, through the water, and then he turns around, he looks, and all the chemicals on the shelf start rising out of him into the air, and he looks back at his